What's up, fellas? Welcome to Air Marshal Mondays. Air Marshal Mondays, yeah, yeah. What's going on? How's everybody doing this Monday night? How's everybody doing? Anybody get some flying in this weekend? Let's hear some stories about people flying this weekend. I want to hear all about it. What up, Randy? What's up, Ray? Wild Bill? The Merry Boozers? What's up, Wes? Robert? Mike Keller? Good to see you. Dastardly Dave? We can never have too many Daves in here. GB? You know, GB, it's good to be in the in crowd. I have one that gets washed every week. Dennis, that's just as good as flying, man. That's just as good as flying. A nice relaxing day on the lake, doing some fishing in Texas. JB, that's why we got to mix it up, man. We got to mix it up. You know, you're repping Motion RC. I'm repping Spectrum. Everybody's repping Spectrum because, you know, Jeff's Custom RC has one of these sweet hats. Ryan's got one of these sweet hats. All right. One beer a day keeps coronavirus. No, you got to have more than one. You got to have more than one. I know. That's what I'm saying, Bruce Beamer. If one keeps coronavirus away, if I drink 12, that'll keep all sickness away. All right. So, I hope everybody had a good weekend. And we're going to talk about some geeky stuff today. Everybody ready? Everybody ready to get your geek on? All right. George Watts, welcome to the show. Kind Corner. Is that somebody that changed their name? Have you always been Kind Corner? It doesn't matter. Welcome to the show. Jackson, my man, what's up? Mary Boozer RC, how dare you speak that foul language in here? Shadow, it's cool. Listen, Shadow, by now we all know that when the streams start, you're cooking dinner. I mean, it's just how it is, right? When the stream starts, Shadow's cooking dinner. Everybody knows that by now, right? We all know. Deuces, that's awesome. And welcome to the show. Lewis, what's up, man? I know Lewis is ready to get flying again. Or maybe Lewis is cheating and going to the schools and flying in parking lots, but man, I'm ready for the field to open back up. Ugh, it's killing me. Captain Photon, good to see you. So, Today we're going to be talking about, well, not the geekiest of geeky things. We're gonna let Gooniac take care of that. At when this stream ends, Gooniac is gonna get into some really geeky things. The stuff that I'm gonna get into is actually kind of cool. And what we're going to be talking about today, the topic of the show, is how we can take advantage of 3D printing to make cool things for our models, right? Whether that is 3D printed cockpits, instead of buying them from somebody else, if you want to go out and you want to grab yourself a 3D printer, because they're very cost effective. For about the price of a cheap foam airplane, you can pick up a 3D printer these days that's awesome, that doesn't suck. And we're going to be talking about that. And what I want to do is go, like there's a lot of stuff out there that's pre-designed, but we're going to talk about not just stuff that we can grab off of Thingiverse, but, we're going to make a very simple part in a CAD program called Fusion 360. And then we're going to export that to an STL file, which is what you would find on like Thingiverse. Then we're going to slice that using what's called a slicing program, and then we're going to send it to our 3D printer. And I've got some cameras on the 3D printer. We'll be able to watch all this stuff happen, and it's pretty cool. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be talking about tonight. So if that's something that interests you, I encourage you to follow along for the journey. Yep, Shadow. So basically, let's talk about the different components of this, right? So before we get into, the different software components and the individual pieces of software that I use personally, and there's lots of options out there. So, nothing that I am doing. Wait, guys, Magic Beard just shows up. It just shows up. Okay. Oh, don't bump the camera. Don't bump the camera in there. All right. So let's talk about all the different components, all the different elements that we need to get started in 3D printing. All right. So if you don't want to ever worry about, designing your own designing your own pieces, and guys, it's okay. It's okay.
You really gotta move that.
I can't. It's stuck to the wall. So I know that you guys are going to be super excited. What?
Yeah.
I can't unless you're sitting in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go outside.
Dustin, what is up, my friend? Wreckham Roy. Yeah, no, Wreckham. So Amy's going to be joining us tonight for the show, which is awesome, and hopefully she'll be joining us every week, which will be double awesome. And I know that you guys, far more enjoyed at least looking at her and hearing my geeky stuff. So, she's going to be here to comfort you guys, so you have something nice to look at while I talk about terrible things. So, all right. So let's get back to.
Not that nice to look at. My hair is all messed
Oh
up.
my God, you're very nice to look at.
My quarantine haircut. Is
Your
not
quarantine
flattering.
haircut. Stop it.
Yeah.
All right. So, sorry. So let's get back into this. So here's what we got, right? There's a website out there called Thingiverse, and I'm going to pull that up real quick and let you guys, kind of take a look at the kind of different things that we can do with Thingiverse, what's out there. So thingiverse.com. Uh-oh. All right. So I'm going to take a look at the Thingiverse website here real quick. We're going to transition over there. And all right. So what we can see is this is Thingiverse. There's all kinds of little trinkets and knickknacks and functional prints and weird things that you can make in Thingiverse. Um, there's just a lot of stuff. Whether that is pieces that you need or pieces that you want. There's baby Yodas. There's brackets. Naked ladies, stick shift keychains. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. Vases, the little octopus thing that Josh made, the octobutt plug. There's, crazy Pikachu Hulkamaniac. I mean, just the list goes on and on. There's literally thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of things on Thingiverse, right? And, what ends up happening is you'll end up getting somebody either like myself, Dustin, Josh, people that play around with CAD software will design something and we'll put it out there for people to download and they can print it themselves, right? Because we want to be able to share the love. And that's kind of the first element of 3D printing. What do you want to print? What kind of stuff is out there? And Thingiverse has just boatloads of things that you can download and load up into your slicer software to transfer or translate that into a sliced or individual layers, because what we're doing is it's an additive process. So we print one layer, go up a step, print another layer, go up a step, print another layer, etc. And it's additive building. Where like milling a piece of billet steel or aluminum is subtractive manufacturing. 3D printing is additive manufacturing, where rather than taking material away to come up with our finished object, we are adding material little by little to come up with our finished object. So let's get past that. Yeah, sorry, Ricky. She's taking her time, man. So the next piece that we are going to show is one of my nifty tools that I use. And again, there's a lot of different pieces of software, and this is a CAD program, or computer assisted design, computer aided design. And this is a piece of software called Fusion 360. It's made by Autodesk. And, there are plenty of CAD programs out there, but for me, Fusion 360, it's for home use. It is free. It is retardedly powerful. I know that that's a bad word, so I don't mean to offend anybody, but it's an extremely powerful piece of software, and I absolutely enjoy using it. Now, what we're going to do for the purposes of our discussion today is I'm going to go in and I'm actually going to create a little piece. FU Hanger 51. What's up, Kenny? How you doing tonight? Airhammer 7. This commander is not new. This commander is man, I got this commander not immediately when commanders came out. I waited probably till the end of that flying season. So I'd say it's probably a good 3 years old. I just haven't wrecked it. It's so easy to fly. And if you saw how I fly almost every other plane, you'd be like, "Well, I'm shocked that you haven't wrecked that." This particular airplane is just a joy. It is a joy to fly. I absolutely love it. It's not new. It's old, but it's amazing. One of the best airplanes, in my opinion, that E-flite makes. Yeah, Robert, that is true. Fusion 360 is a little bit of a bear of a program, and if you've got a nice piece of hold on. If you've got a nice computer, Fusion 360 will run fine. There are other There are other CAD programs out there, and not everybody's going to be into this part, right? And I get that. But I just want to show, how easy it is to go from a concept in your head to a simple design in the CAD software. I mean, it's literally going to take minutes for us to be able to draft up a part that we want, right? So I'm just trying to get the screen ready to go here, and then I'll show you what we're working with. All right. So we're going to go ahead and transition over. And what we're looking at here is the Fusion 360 interface, right? So the purpose of this is not to teach you guys how to do CAD designs or anything, but just the different elements that are involved in the 3D printing process, right? And and to just kind of give you guys that warm fuzzy that 3D printing is something that's easy, it's attainable, it's something that you can do, and we can make neat stuff, using 3D printed parts. So what I want to do is I want to, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to create what's called a sketch in Fusion 360. And we're going to do, no, that's not what I want. I'm going to do so what I'm going to do is, just to give you guys an idea, maybe I just shouldn't tell you what I'm making. Maybe I should just do it and then let you guys figure out on your own, like, what I'm making. That might be a little more fun. So I'm going to do what's called a center triangle, and we're going to make it, let's see, let me grab, how wide is, let's see, I'm sitting here kind of guesstimating. Let's make it 30 centimeters by 20 centimeters. So we're going to do 20 tall, or 20 millimeters, excuse me, by 30 millimeters wide. All right, and then, let's go, say, from there up to the top. We're going to make some lines. So let's do some lines. And let's go from here to here. And then another line from here to here. All right, and then we're going to go back to our selection tools. We're going to delete that top line. And we'll go ahead and delete these side lines and these construction lines also. And come back and draw a couple of more lines. All right, so now we have this little thing that kind of looks like a house, right? So what we're going to do, and again, we can kind of stop that. What we're going to do is we're going to take that, and we're going to, and now we're kind of looking at the 3D space. We're going to take that and we're going to do what's called an extrusion, and we're going to make that, let's make it,
You're so.
we're going to make it 50 millimeters long. So we're going to extrude that piece. We're going to finish our sketch and then extrude that out by 50 millimeters.
All right. It does look like Connect the Dots, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot like Connect the Dots. So,
are you making a house?
What I've got there is this little thing. Robert. This is my wife, Amy. For those of you guys that don't know.
I have been accused of being his daughter more than once, but we're only a couple years apart.
All right.
In age.
Yeah. I won't tell you how old she is. I'll let her tell you.
I'm 40. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm proud I made it this far.
Right.
It's really miraculous.
So what we've done is we've created, and it's not the best example of one, but it will work for the purposes of what we're trying to show you. Is we've made this little 3D part that looks a little bit like a house, right? So we're going to take that and we are going to export. Actually, we're going to take that part.
Hi. Yeah, I'm still looking. Very much.
And let's see where we're going to go up here to make.
Are you going to go ahead and print that?
And we're going to go to 3D print. Nope. We're not going to actually send it to a 3D print utility. But what we are going to do
He said it says chicken barn. Hi. Hi, Shadow Ops. He was gray out of the womb, I think.
I was what?
You were gray out of the womb.
Probably. So now we're going to take this piece
Right.
and we're going to,
Board
using
lock.
this little 3D print make utility, we're going to hit OK. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow us to take this design that we just made and export it as an STL file. Now, an STL file is the same stuff that you would find on Thingiverse. And
no, I know it's kind of like an SVG for a 3D printer, right?
yes,
Okay.
that's exactly what it is. So we're gonna take that and let's name that
House. Boardwalk.
nope,
Wheel check.
wheel chalk.
Talk.
Oh my goodness. All right, and now we can open up our slicer program, which in my particular case, I've actually got several different slicers on here, but the one that I prefer to look at is a slicer application called Simplify 3D. Now, right now, I've got a part on there that I made for one of our community members, and we don't need that anymore, so we're going to remove that. And I am going to import that piece that I just made. And
Bless you.
thanks. What we're going to do is we're going to stand that thing up on its end. Yep.
So you just what? You just flip it.
Yes, we're going to take, place surface on bed, Control L, and we're going to pick one of the ends here. And that's going to stand it up on its end, and then we're going to center and arrange. Now, what that shows us, or what that does for us, now dang it, in Simplify 3D, now we can kind of, talk about what does a slicer do. Robert Ortleb I have, and I just prefer Simplify 3D. I've been using it for years, and it worked for me. And I know that there's a lot of alternatives out there, but some of the stuff that I do requires multiple processes, which like Slicer, Prusa Slicer, Cura, Mesh Mixer, a lot of the other slicer software is not very good at that. So I've continued to use Simplify 3D over the years, and I enjoy it. Let's talk real quick about what the slicer software does for us, right? What it does is it prepares that 3D object that we just created. So what you'll see here is this is the little object that we just created in Fusion 360. And we're going to hit this prepare to print button. Right now, what we can do here is now we see that this is separated into many different layers, And what I can do is I can kind of scroll down, and you can kind of see what the slicer software is doing. What it does is it takes that file, right, that solid object, and slices it into individual layers and builds that additive process up. So as this creates what's called G code that we can send over to the printer. And the G code is basically, X, Y, Z, heat axes, speed, things like that that tell the printer how to draw this shape onto the print bed. And if we, kind of go through what it's doing as I, kind of move up from one layer to the next, it's adding each one of those layers one by one and showing you how it's going to build that out. Now, the reason that I stood it up on the end is this particular shape, if we were to build it with it laying flat, it would build those layers, and where I have the edge that goes under the wheel, it would look kind of weird, right? This will allow for the part to be a little stronger, and whatever the case may be. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to go back and make sure that all of my settings look good. And remember again, this isn't a tutorial of how to print. It is more of a case of, let me, I'm going to do all of the steps that need to be done and show you guys each one of these steps, just so you can understand that 3D printing is something that you can do. And I just want to reiterate that, right? That this isn't necessarily a teaching session as much as it is a familiarization and, just kind of showing you guys what's out there and what can be done, and really how easy it is. So it looks like everything is good. And right now I'm just kind of going through some of these slicer settings, making sure that everything looks good. That all of my heat levels are correct, my cooling is correct, my scripts are good, starting and ending scripts are good, and these are all things that can certainly be learned, but each one of these has a lot of videos. I mean, you can see there's a lot of settings going on here. It's not quite as intimidating as it looks. A lot of this stuff, once you learn it, you set it and forget it, you get your printer tuned and you're done, right? So let's go ahead and hit that prepare to print button again. And we're going to do this process here called save toolpath to disk. And what we're doing when we save toolpath to disk is we are saving the G code file now. So from Fusion 360, we built a 3D object and we exported that object as an STL file. We can bring that STL file into our slicer, which prepares it for our 3D printing process. It turns it into individual layers that the 3D printer can understand. And now we're going to export it into something called G code, right? And the G code is what we send to the printer, and it tells the printer what to do and how to behave, right? So we're going to save that same as before. We're just going to save it as wheelchock.gcode. And now let's open up a browser window.
Girlfriend.
And we're going to go into something called Octoprint. Now, Octoprint is something that I have on my printer. It's not something that necessarily everybody has, but I use Octoprint on my printer.
Oh my God.
And Octoprint is where I've taken a Raspberry Pi and I have attached, you're basically loading a version of Linux onto the Raspberry Pi, and you plug the Raspberry Pi via a USB port into your printer, and the Raspberry Pi takes over all of the G-code sending and functional processes that happen on the control board of the printer. And it allows me to communicate with the printer over Wi-Fi. So using Raspberry Pi and using Octoprint, I can I can go through and I can manipulate the printer from here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and preheat.
Just give her back if she wants.
Yeah, we're going to preheat all of our stuff. Now, I know that you guys didn't see it, but the type of plastic that we're using for this particular print, we're using a type of plastic called PLA. And that PLA, the best heat through testing, I've done a lot of testing with this particular filament, it likes to be heated up to 210 degrees Celsius. So we're going to preheat our
filament.
We're going to preheat what's called the hot end of the printer, right, which is like a nozzle. So imagine like a hot glue gun. The tip of the hot glue gun, the nozzle, the hot end, if you will, of the 3D printer is like the nozzle of a hot glue gun. But instead of spitting hot glue through it, we're putting plastic through it. So I'm going to go ahead and preheat the printer, and I'm going to go ahead and get the bed preheated to 60 degrees Celsius. And while that's happening, we're going to flip over and let you guys take a quick look at what we're sending this to. So
this is the Ender what? Which printer is this?
Yeah. So this is the printer that I've got is an Ender 3 printer. It is not an Ender 3 Pro. It's the first series of the Ender 3 3D printer from Creality 3D. And this thing has been an absolute workhorse. An absolute workhorse. This thing just, it goes and goes and goes and goes.
He made a submarine with it.
I've made a submarine with it. I've made airplanes with it. I've made parts and pieces for all kinds of neat things.
He made me a cat.
I made Amy a cat and butterflies, cookie cutters that look like reindeers and unicorns.
Yeah, so you can like do anything with these things. And there's so many different kind of filaments. Like I know this is what they use to print people's like teeth when they are getting their teeth done.
Well, what they have is a little nicer than what we've got.
Yeah, it's probably different, but this is what they use. It's 3D printer, which is pretty cool.
All right, so let's go back over to, and that's just kind of a preview of what's going on with the printer. Let's go back over to Octoprint real quick. And, it looks like we can actually watch, the graphs and the ramps of the temperatures rising. So it looks like our bed temperatures are getting kind of where they need to be. Now, once the bed temperatures get where they need to be, we can go ahead and start the print. Now, first, I need to bring that file that we just made into Octoprint so I can upload, and we can go into.
Now there is a movie where they actually did 3D print somebody's, member. What was that? Neighbors?
Yeah, Neighbors, Bad Neighbors.
Yeah, this fraternity was 3D printing their,
the bed temp is rising.
As like selling them as like what were they selling them as? Dildos or something? Or like the
they were selling them to repair the water damage.
Yeah, that was a pretty funny movie.
All right, so the light burner mentioned that you can drag and drop the files into Octoprint, and that is absolutely true. I just wanted to show
when the temps are right.
You can certainly set it up that way. If we were to tell Octoprint, if we were to tell Octoprint, like say for example, we take this wheel chalk G code and we go ahead and tell it to load and print, right? So right now I've loaded it. It's going to take about an hour to print that off. It's 8:37, so we might actually get to see a finished part here tonight, which is exciting.
It's fun to watch it. I mean, I've sat there and watched it print stuff and just like
it's kind of mesmerizing,
It
right?
is. It's
So
really like
you know, as this thing
ASMR-ish.
continues to build up, we'll leave the printer, you know, leave it where it's watching the printer here for a little bit. But if I were to go ahead and tell it to start the print, it would wait for the bed temperatures to get to where they need to be, and as soon as the bed temperatures are where they are, it would go. Now, the process that I went through in this particular case is I preheated the nozzle and I preheated the bed, so everything is where I need it to be. So as soon as I hit print, and what we can see here is now my bed temperatures are sitting, you know, right at, you know, they should be right around 210. Yeah, so 210.9, and um my bed temperature is sitting about 60 and my hot end is sitting right around 210. So the preheating process just makes it where you know, everything's ready to go when I am, instead of waiting for things to happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and hit the print button, and you know, my printer's already got the filament loaded, and then we're going to switch over to the printer view, and I'm going to go into the other room. Amy can, you know, still sit here and talk to you guys.
I can.
And I'm going to be going over to the other room.
I feel tired. I feel wheels on my back right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
the bus never stops. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the print button. We're going to transition
Hot
over there.
end. Yeah, the hot end. Okay. So what's up, guys?
All right. So they should still be able to hear me. You guys, hopefully, you guys can still hear me. Amy can see the chat. I can't. But what we can see is we can see the printer doing some movement right now. We can see it going to these 9 corners, and what it's doing is a process right now called automatic bed leveling. And using this sensor right here, it can tell, you know, basically what the level of the bed is in comparison to this rod, which is called the gantry, right? So it's all leveling out, which is a very cool feature to have on one of these printers, and the Ender 3 does not come with that automatically. I added that after the fact, but it is an extremely good feature to have. And what I'm doing with the paint scraper is, you know, during this initial process, you get a little goop on the nozzle, and you kind of have to get it off of there.
I really don't say
So right now it's doing what's called a nozzle purge.
Is it a resin printer? Is it a resin printer?
It's going to go and start creating what's called a skirt. And everything right now is doing pretty good.
You're right.
And guys, the reason that I'm in here watching it, I know you can't see me, but you know, I'm right here. The reason that I'm in here watching it is the first part of the print, what's called the first layer, is absolutely critical in making sure that the print goes off without a hitch. So you're going to see me kind of with my head in here, you know, kind of making sure that all of the layers, or each one of the lines that it's laying down right now, are sticking to the bed, and that they're all sticking to each other as well. So we want to make sure that everything looks good and it all looks perfect. Like I said, I mean, I've had this printer for years and it's very well tuned. So now it's actually starting to print the actual part. So it's printing out what we call the first layer. It's printing out all of the exterior walls. And everything is looking perfect right now. And once we get through with these first layers, I'll come back in there, and you know, we can chat for about an hour.
Oh, wedding cake.
And now it's filling in, you know, the internal portion of the first layer. And you know, what we can do is kind of move the camera around a little bit. And get a closer look of the bed. While this is all happening.
I just have a lot on my mind tonight. All good. And here we go.
And I'll also drop the camera down a little bit.
I think this printer was pretty reasonable for what it is. I'm not exactly sure what the exact dollar amount was, but I'll make sure that we tell you what that is. Lower so you can see it print better. Yeah, did you see that? Lower so you can see it print better.
I moved it.
Also, there was a question about how much all the hardware and the software costs for a 3D printer.
All right.
Oh yeah, custom Monopoly game piece. That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, you can absolutely make custom Monopoly game pieces. All right, so first I gotta ask, could everybody hear everything that I was saying while I was in there messing around with the printer? Because unfortunately I didn't have the chat pulled up, so I couldn't see what you guys were saying. But Amy got a couple of questions over to me.
And cost of hardware and software for this.
Yep. So the software, for the most part, is free. The only software that I paid for out of all of that was the Simplify 3D program, which is the slicer. And there were specific features inside Simplify 3D that I needed in order to make sure that I could do the things I needed to do. There are a lot of free slicer programs like Cura and Slicer, which is SLIC3R, but it's Slicer.
Ouch.
And there's several different forks of Slicer that work real well.
Ever use Schaefer? SHAFFR.
I have not. So the only software, like I said, that I paid for was Simplify 3D. Now, Cura, the latest version of Cura, which I think is 4.5, is also a fantastic slicer program that works very well. I highly recommend it. It's what I used for about a year before I switched over to Simplify 3D. And, I'll tell you, you don't need Simplify 3D. There were specific functions of it that I needed.
Where did you go to get Fusion 360 for free?
Fusion 360 is available for free straight from Autodesk. When you register Fusion 360, you can either, there's several different methods of registering Fusion 360. You can register Fusion 360 as an individual. You can, Lightburner is not wrong. Once you use Simplify 3D and you see how powerful a piece of software it is, because you can do a free trial, right? You can use Simplify 3D for free for like a month, I think, maybe a week, something like that. Once you figure it out and you're like, oh my God, this is way better than what I had before, it's worth the money if you print a lot of stuff. Now, back to Fusion 360. Fusion 360 is free for under, I think, 3 different circumstances, maybe 4. So one is for educational purposes. So if you're a student or a teacher, you can get Fusion 360 with a free license. If you are an individual, like myself, I'm just a person that likes to tinker around and make parts, I can get it for free. If you are a company that makes less than $100,000 a year, you can get Fusion 360 for free. It's all in the way that you register Fusion 360. If you are a company that makes more than $100,000 a year, then there are monthly subscription packages that you can sign up for with Autodesk, and you can get Fusion 360 that way. But I certainly don't fall into that category. I am not a company. I do not make more than $100,000 a year, so we get it for free.
Captain Photon, that sounds like an awesome idea. I think I have a notification actually. Okay, so let's talk about how much is the actual printer.
The printer that I have here, which is the Creality 3D Ender 3, The base price of this printer today, I want to say, is $180 or something like that.
I was thinking it was more than that. So
No,
I thought it
it's
was more
not.
like
They're
400.
no, they're way more cost effective.
Okay.
Now, this particular printer, I would not get. Now, this one is several years old. I got it when the Ender 3 first came out, so it's probably been 2-3 years ago. There is an Ender 3 Pro that came out, probably about a year and a half ago, and it's got some upgraded components, which are, huge upgrades, at least in my opinion. It comes with a better power supply, and it comes, with.
How much the whole printer setup, like everything.
Yep.
Like if you want to get the filament too, like all of this.
Oh, so the filament is about $20 a roll, depending on where you get it. You can get some cheap filament, so each filament, when we're talking like PLA, between $15 to $25 a roll.
So what you're looking about $350 to get?
Yeah.
Not even that, maybe 250, 300 to get completely like started up. Probably like for the whole setup.
Yeah. For what I'm using for the Raspberry Pi, a Raspberry Pi is about $30, I think, maybe 40. The printer, you can pick up an Ender 3 Pro, I think for $220 now, $220, and that's got all the upgrades and everything already there.
So about $350.
Yeah, about, you're probably looking around $300 to $350 for everything that I have. There are cheaper ways of getting into it, but I like the setup I've got. I've been using it for a long time, and it's a lot of fun.
It does look like Weed Eater line, for real. This color especially does look like Weed Eater line, I think.
All right, and I hopefully I angled the camera at an angle where you guys can see the part, kind of developing and growing over time. So.
Do you want me to go adjust it and then you tell me? Yeah,
No. I think it looks fine. I'm gonna. No, it looks good.
Camera angle looks great. Okay, we're good.
Awesome.
It's not actually bad. I thought when he told me he's gonna get a 3D printer, we were looking at
like thousands of dollars.
Yeah, I was like, no, because I do our budget and I was kind of worried. But when I saw how much it cost, I was like, go for it. That's fine.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
And he uses it quite a bit, or he's starting to use it again quite a bit.
Right, so I'm switching the picture up a little bit, where you
bigger.
Can. Yeah.
Don't be scaring these poor people.
I was gonna put it down in the corner, but Amy, she's so short that
Well, I can get taller, but
yeah, it like covered up her whole head.
Me and my quarantine hair.
Our quarantine.
Quarantine.
But ding 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 ding
ding ding ding ding ding ding. How's that go? What is that movie? Okay. The Tea Party. I don't know. When I'm installing all the electronics in my planes, I like to lay them out neatly on a board and hide the wires. I may look into this.
Yes.
You can move it to the right. Something funky on the left.
I think he's talking about me.
Aww.
I think I'm the funky thing on the left.
You. No, I look pretty funky too because I'm really tired and stressed out a little bit. Anyway, I'm hoping this is gonna help that problem. So
what of your confidence levels?
Well, no, yeah, that and like I cleaned house all day and I'm exhausted, and then was dealing with some other drama and then some more drama and not even my drama. So, the life of an empath.
Stop it.
Oh, I'll
Yep.
be fine. I'll be fine. I'm always fine.
We're always dealing with drama from somewhere. It's dumb.
Yeah.
All right. Captain Kind.
My hair is. Yeah. I didn't mean to cut this much off. Like, really. My hair was really long. But it'll be healthy when it gets back out, you know, not drying or nothing.
Nice, nice. Yeah, so I'm glad we were able to get through like that. I mean, and
Can you make molds with the printer?
you can make molds. You so you can make like fiberglass plugs with a 3D printer. I would not go and make like foam molds because foam, as you heat the foam up or whatever, like if you were to try to pour like liquid hot anything, liquid hot magma into a like a PLA piece, it would annihilate it. But excuse me, you can right. You can make like fiberglass plugs or say like Lexan, if you're familiar with what Lexan is. It's basically like the same material that we use, that's used to make like cockpits and.
Same, George. That's why I cut it.
And
I cut his too.
Yeah, you know.
It's not that bad. Like, I was really scared. Okay, so there was a question.
I went
what
back to my military cut.
For your planes have you made, or common parts? That question is from Captain Kind, RC.
So parts that I have made for airplanes.
Have we made any parts yet?
Yeah.
Okay, well.
A lot of the stuff that I make now, this is not something that I made, but are like little cans, little part
we made
holders.
A couple of trash cans. Like
I have made trash cans. I made an insert for a case. Where I put like power cables and stuff like that in there. It's like a phone case. I made like a little box that slid down in there where, the phone, it would just stay rigid instead of, tearing the foam up every time I put pieces and parts down in there. But I have a couple of cool things. I didn't make parts for airplanes.
Printed dummy motors. The filament cost is about 20 to 30 a roll, depending on what kind you get. It's not that bad for what it is. There he goes. Barbie size furniture. Yeah, you can make that for like a dollhouse. You can make anything. I've seen people make little chess pieces and stuff. And I think we've got our filament at, where do we get Micro Center? Which I don't know if they have Micro Centers all around the country. Probably. Is that just here in Marietta? Yeah, it was like anywhere from 20 to 30 there, so it could be cheaper other places. So that's part of the fuselage he made. This is the submarine. And we ran out of blue, so we had to move to black.
Actually, I ran out of black and had to shift to blue.
Yeah, so that's what happened
Sorry. So this is a 1 meter
stick me in the eye with that thing.
Virginia class submarine that I made with the 3D printer. And I could, using the right parts, I could turn this into an actual submersible ship. But that's a big ass Virginia class submarine, 1 meter long, very cool. With all the proper bits and pieces. This is, I printed with the intent of it being a static model, but that's one thing that I have made with it that's pretty freaking cool. And it's not finished yet, guys. When it is, it'll look much better. Right now, you can still see the sanded, the sanded joints where
we haven't even
where I glued it all together, and we can sit that over there. And as far as parts for airplanes, why stop at parts when you can print the whole damn airplane? So this is the fuselage of a, for those of you guys who are familiar with 3D lab prints, This is the fuselage of the 3D lab print Spitfire. And this thing is just a beast of an airplane. And it all goes together pretty well. It's fairly lightweight. I mean, feel of this compared to the submarine. You know,
this
go
is
ahead
really
and
like.
I mean, it's a little heavier on the front.
Yeah, it's a little heavier up here.
But the you know, the construction techniques and the way that 3D lab print build the planes, this thing is pretty awesome.
I like how it. Yeah, we need to put some wings on this thing.
I've got the wings. I just haven't glued the wings pieces together yet. But the fuselage actually went together pretty easy. And as you can see, I mean, it's pretty massive. I mean, we hold it up in comparison to the Commander, and the Commander's not a small plane. The Commander is a 1400 millimeter airframe, and this Spitfire, I think, is a 16 or 1700 millimeter wingspan, and you can see how much bigger it is than the Commander sitting right next to it. So this is going to be a
I think
huge
this should
plane.
be the first thing that I fly, because if I destroy it, then it's not a big deal.
What?
Yeah. No, seriously.
No. This will be an extremely difficult airplane to fly when we're done with it. The Apprentice will be much better.
If I destroy that, are you going to be upset?
No. But if you destroyed this, I would cry.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's what I'm trying to get away from.
Yeah. So this thing, guys, is pretty freaking badass. And the way that they're built, the way that they go together, the way that the wings attach, I mean, they can add some extremely scaled detail. Well, there went the submarine.
She tries to protect me, so if I'm down here, she's got to be down. Wherever I am, she has to be.
Yep. So I'm gonna put these stupid things back.
Sorry. I don't know where that piece flew off to.
That's okay.
Okay. We'll find it.
Super cool works.
My animals are terrible. Dive. Whatever is easy to fly, like, I need that. I have a lot more time on the simulator before I do it in real life. I'm fine. I'm serious. I can't even go to the bathroom without my dogs coming in there. It's like they're toddlers. I can't remember the last time I took a shower without a kid or a dog in there. I was probably like a teenager.
Here's one piece.
I can't see that good. Sorry. I'll fix it.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. All right.
The sub sank. Yep.
Yep.
We'll fix it. No big deal. We
So
can print it
the
again.
dog destroyed my submarine.
I'm sorry.
But that's okay.
A submarine has run aground.
Yep, the submarine has
3D.
has run aground indeed.
3D what? I can't read that.
Yes, 3D lab print.
3D lab print. I really need some glasses.
So,
Subs. Okay, so I'm gonna stop being boring now. I'm gonna get out of my head. So what's going on with you guys? What's happening? Are y'all staying safe and happy and everything?
I'm actually going to switch over to the 3D lab print website real quick, where y'all will still be able to see
I know, right,
us. All right. So here's the 3D lab print website.
Well, basically, yeah. Well, I don't know. If my daughter's around, she don't care. She'll come in there still. Like, doesn't matter. AutoCAD? Getting attacked by moths. You're getting attacked by moths? You must be outside. Or... Ooh. Who did that plane? Where that they put that on the bottom of it, or is it print like that? No, it can't print like that.
Oh, I don't know. All right, guys. So here are all the different airplanes that 3D Lab Print has plans available for. Now, 3D Lab Print, I mean, they come up with these designs, so you pay for them. But you know, for $20, I can get this Focke-Wulf. You know,
Oh, that's pretty cool.
it's a 1/12 scale. 1200. It's basically 1236 millimeter.
You can get some Bombay doors for free if you join their. Wait, no.
Here is a B-25 Mitchell. You know, so if you want that B-25 that everybody's been begging for,
$60.
for $60, you can get the plans to 3D print one. And it's a 68-inch 1.7, so it's a 1700 millimeter B50 or B25 Mitchell, which is awesome.
Yeah, I got wood bees, y'all, so I feel
you. F-86, MiG-15. Here's an Edge 540 up here.
Yeah, but we want to, you know,
Corsair.
Like, buy from the airplane makers that make. We want to keep them in business.
Oh, of course. The Corsair is actually really cool. It's got some pins in it that you can pull out, and you can fold the wings up so the gull wings are actually functional.
Sweet.
You've got the Spitfire. That's what I was working on there, and the Spitfire is 1.7 meter. The Corsair is huge.
They're flyable.
Oh, absolutely, they're flyable.
Put batteries and
do
all the stuff.
I mean, these are RC aircraft. Everything that you're seeing here is an RC aircraft, and where we buy the plans. And, you know, that little bitty 3D printer that I was showing you guys earlier is what I used to print the Spitfire, right? So it's all smaller, you know, easy to print pieces. You print the pieces together and they go together like a jigsaw puzzle, man.
I'm
and
sorry. Let me interject. There's
nothing
cooler than opening up a box and pulling out the parts today.
That is true.
I mean, I even like that. Like, that's... The smell of, I miss the smell of the inside of an airplane box.
The smells.
What is wrong with me? What have you done to me?
Oh, wow. They've got a little Cessna 152.
Oh, that's cute.
A Stearman.
That purple thing.
They've got an M6A, the Japanese torpedo planes. They've got the P-38. The P-38 is awesome.
It's a weird looking.
BF-109. They've got a P-51. The P-51's a smaller, you know, smaller airplane, about the same size as like the Havoc from Skynetics.
The work is making the room inside for the electronics. I would probably agree with that. I think that would be, but I mean, you guys are all smart, so.
Yep. So. That just gives you an idea of like if you wanted to get into like printing your own airplane, you can do that with 3D Lab Print. You know, you can buy their plans. Their plans are awesome. The way that the planes fit together is awesome. Everything, and they update them all the time, which is really nice. Every plane that they've got a full video tutorial of how to make the parts and how to print the parts, how to glue the parts together. I mean, it's a pretty seamless operation that they're running over there. So really cool guys too.
Are you out? You good? No, I was just wondering if you still had some.
No, I'm fine.
I think I grabbed the ones that I just put in there like an hour ago.
Yeah, you want to put them back?
Yeah, I'm gonna go switch them because these are warm and I don't like it.
Well, be careful.
I got this.
We're building up a bottle collection. All right, so
you guys are awful.
Who's awful? Yeah. So to answer the question, my Spitfire took 4 spools. Well, it took 3 full spools and 1 partial spool of filament. So about $60 in filament to make all the parts that I needed. So, Michael, it really depends on the part. There are certainly ways inside of Fusion 360. Once you become more familiar with the Fusion 360 interface and how to do everything inside of Fusion 360, you could design your own parts to graft into the airplane. But to be honest with you, if it's a smaller part, I would probably take a piece of foam from a box, from old packing material or a wrecked airplane, or even like some of the like insulating foam from Lowe's. Make a block out of it, graft that block in, cut it to shape, and sand it down. That's probably the route that I would go rather than trying to 3D print something, because the 3D printed element or the 3D printed part is going to be a lot different. The properties are going to be a lot different than the foam. So that's probably how I'd go there. I know that that's probably disappointing, since we're talking about 3D printing.
I think the main purpose for us doing this was to talk about printing little parts and stuff.
Yeah, the 3D printing is more for the people that want to get into like printing accessories and things like that. So, you can.
But we're saying you can do this if you want to.
You can print like the missiles and stuff that they sell for. That you get.
I think it probably.
Say for example, you get like those cheesy missiles on the wing of the F-16, on the 64mm F-16 from E-Flight, or the crappy ordnance. The foam ordnance is usually garbage, right? With 3D printers, you can
make it
print
look the way you want it.
Yeah, you can print a much more scale version of like a Sidewinder, and you can paint them and weather them. That you can make them look awesome, and you can either
put them in that
like
little water thing that shakes. You know what I'm talking about?
What?
That Jamie has, like, puts it in there and it shakes all the stuff off of it.
Oh, an electrosonic
bath or whatever.
That's for metal parts.
Well, I mean, that's... Oh, never mind. You can also clean your pipes with them.
You could do that.
Yeah, you could. Okay. But what 3D printer do you have? It is so this is from TNS. How do you say it, Scoot? Tennessee Scoot? Is that TN Scoot?
I think so.
Okay.
Ultrasonic cleaner. There you go.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
My brain was not working. Yeah, the printer is an Ender 3.
Mm-hmm.
It is not the Ender 3 Pro. I know the Ender 3 Pro is what you would probably find today.
Find me and only have it.
So, Michael, if you've got the old piece, so the easiest way, and at least this is what I've found, right? When I am creating a new part from nothing, I at least like to have some portion of the old part, if not the whole thing, even if it's broken. And I'll take a caliper and do measurements and so I can measure how big it is, long, whatever, and I'll measure each little element. And creating designs in Fusion 360 is fairly simple. We could have gotten much more complex with what we're printing here, but the idea wasn't to create like a very complex part. But if I wanted to, I could have made something much more ridiculous.
Hi.
What?
Hi. I was saying hi to Jermaine Spencer.
Oh.
Hello.
Oh. What's up, Jermaine Spencer? How you doing?
What's up? What's up?
Can you print it more than once if you buy the download? Wild Bill, once you own... So what you get is that if you remember back to the beginning of the show here tonight, we looked at like STL files that I could grab off of Thingiverse, and then I created my own STL file with Fusion 360. what you get with these airplanes when you buy them, right? So when I go to 3D Lab Print and I buy an airplane, I am getting basically a zip file that has all of the STL files for each individual element. So not only can you print the whole plane again if you wanted to, as many times as you wanted to. So if you wanted a fleet of Spitfires, you could make 100 of them, and they're never going to charge you again. If you wanted to make Spitfires and charge people for your time, to make a Spitfire, go for it.
Yeah, it's like if you bought an SVG and you made 100 T-shirts, like you could charge people for that.
Right.
So it's yours forever.
Yeah, I mean, it's yours to do what you want.
Yeah.
So yes, I mean, you could make 100 of them, and the nice part is because they give you each individual STL file, each 3D file, I can print just the part that I need. So if I have one part, like I break just some tip off of the right wing,
and you break a little piece off.
Yeah, like
you go back and print that section.
I could reprint just the
whatever part you broke.
The last 10 inches of the left wing. And rebuild just that portion of the airplane rather than trying to go through and rebuild the whole thing.
Which is very cool. Okay. What? We should put music background. Okay. To reverse engineer for 3D laser and blue light scanners. Under heavy use, does the light bill go way up?
Bruce Beamer.
Yet to be seen, I guess. I didn't notice that.
It really doesn't.
It didn't really. No.
So this thing, I mean, I've never put a watt meter on it, but I can't imagine that this uses more power than, say, your average light bulb.
If there was a huge jump in the electricity bill, I would have noticed it. So I've never noticed it. So no.
So Guniac, to answer your question, everything in the 3D printer, including the Raspberry Pi, because the Raspberry Pi is getting its power from the printer, it is a 24-volt DC power supply. So AC in, 24-volt DC out, and I believe it's a 250 watt. It may only be 200 watt, I don't remember. But it's not like it's a monster power supply. George Watts, that is an absolute fact. The pool pump definitely costs more to run than the printer does.
Yeah, that thing is going to be the death of me, I'm telling you. But I want a clean pool. I don't want stagnant, ugly, nasty water with 1,000 mosquitoes and
right.
Disgusting.
So more people in the RC community, you probably spend more to charge your batteries and electricity than you do to run your 3D printer.
Yeah.
Reckamroy, the cost of the printer is, I want to say $199. It's right around $200. The Ender 3 Pro, which is the more up-to-date version of the Ender 3, is $239. But what I'll also tell you is that this is a fairly old model, technology-wise. It's about 2-3 years old now. And there are new printers out there that come with better control boards, better hardware.
There are even some smaller ones now that are kind of better.
For about $300, you can get a printer called a Sapphire Pro. It's not made by Creality, but it's got a much better control board. It's got all of the features built in that I had to add to the Ender 3. So, if you guys are interested in 3D printers, I would definitely do some research on the types of printers that are out there and what you can do with them.
Okay, my new printer will be 8.3 kilowatts up to 12. Is that kilowatts? Is that right? KW? Yep, 12.5 kilowatts.
Well, he's talking about like an industrial printer.
Oh, the really big ones?
8.42 gigawatts.
8.2 gigawatts. Was that?
I don't remember what he says. I don't remember what he says in Back to the Future.
Oh my gosh, I love that movie. I love movies.
That's why I keep making more. So you can watch the movies that I put on YouTube.
I do. I mean, who needed, oh, by the way, who needed a sub? Because I will totally hook you up. Just tell me.
Shh, we don't talk about that.
Well, somebody needed a sub.
What?
Somebody wanted a sub. They had like one away from where they wanted
Did you kick them out?
No.
Oh.
I think they were one of our people.
We're not allowed to talk about Fight Club.
Oh, I don't know anything about Fight Club. See, that's 8.24 gigawatts. I don't know anything about Fight Club, so therefore.
So yeah, and Lightburner brings up the Robo 3D R1 Plus. I've never used the Robo 3D printers. You know.
Check out the Robo 3D R1 Plus.
Yeah, when we talk about like subbing to other people's channels,
I don't know anything about that.
Unless
I don't know the rules.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless I'm the one that says, "Hey guys, go check out."
Well, you might be somebody you know. I don't know. I haven't been on here in a few weeks, and the last time I was on here, I was really drunk. So.
Yeah, that's true. I probably was too.
Oh. At least I don't do
200
crack.
driver, thanks, man.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. This is by far one of the most entertaining live streams I've. Oh, jeez. Wow. Like, you should have been here the last time I was on here.
Yeah. So the YouTube bandits that watch what people do on YouTube don't like it when folks ask for people to subscribe.
I don't know.
Well, I'm telling you.
I think it might have been a joke because somebody knew him. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not going.
I have a feeling I know who you're talking about.
I don't even know.
But I must have missed it.
It doesn't matter. Cause I'm happy.
And Wild Bill, look at where you choose to be on your Monday evenings.
It takes this much for me to get happy.
How many
That's it.
licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Tootsie Pop?
And about what? A little over a fourth, I guess, maybe? I don't know. Would that be a third?
It's 1.21 gigawatts.
1.21 gigawatts! Marty!
We've got to go back.
We gotta go back to the future. What did somebody ask me to say? I am what?
Mr. Tui, have a good night, sir.
Good night. Thank you for coming. It happened so fast.
Oh, Sawyer. Yes.
Will you have a hangover? I won't have a hangover from this, but
she'll have a hangover by the number that she ends up with by the end of the night.
No, I'll tell you what
it's
gives
not
me a
going to
hangover.
stop at
Those fruity little seltzer girly drinks with all the seltzers. I wanted to try them. Oh dear God, I had a hangover before I stopped drinking.
Yeah, but you drank like the whole case.
No, they're all still up in the fridge. If you look in the back. Why? When I can drink this and not even have a hangover. Like, I'll feel guilty about it. I don't know why I do that. I guess because in my early 20s, I just drank a lot. But I will feel guilty about having a
my God, that can't be right.
50 minutes. I can keep these people entertained for 50 minutes. What do you guys want to talk about?
Oh, we're not going to be hanging out that long, but
I don't know if somebody has a show after you. I don't think that's right. Honestly. Oh, yeah, so we can't do that.
Josh Weaver, the layer size on this print is 0.2 millimeters. 0.2 millimeters.
Guilt. Party girls, can't feel anything.
What you printing, Dave? Jermaine Spencer, I am printing a wheel chock for my just for any remote control airplane wheel.
Throw 'em back till I lose count. I'm gonna swing.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, I'm stopping.
So we'll blow this up a little bit there for the folks that haven't seen it yet.
It's not going to take 50 minutes to do that. It's going really fast because I went in there and looked at it.
So that's so people can get a better look. See you, Lightburner. Have a good night, man.
Good night.
So that's so
Dave,
people can
do you have a backup commander in the A box put up somewhere?
Brian Chambers, I do not have a backup commander.
That's what she said. Wow, Billy, you remind me of a good country song too. What's your layer size?
I think I entered that already.
Yeah, it is the sugar in that. Like that. I don't drink soda anyway, so when I drank all those seltzers with all that sugar, it was bad. Like, I had a terrible headache for a couple days.
I don't know. I mean, it might take...
Good night, Lightburner.
It
DeLorean.
might take...
Yes. I wish I had a DeLorean.
Another hour.
Hey, we should 3D print a DeLorean. They basically 3D printed the ones that are on the market.
True.
So... Don't we know somebody that used to have a DeLorean?
I don't think so.
What did Donnie used to have? That weird car.
She had a Lotus.
Oh, she had a Lotus.
Yeah,
a Spree or something.
No.
No, it wasn't a Spree.
I don't know what kind of Lotus it was.
It was cool, though.
It was pretty cool.
It was really cool.
So, what we're showing here is this is
Good evening.
The part that's getting printed, and
it's not going to take 50 minutes. That's wrong, I think.
It might not be. It's still
Welcome to the Air Marshal Mondays. If you have questions during the show, please leave a comment. I think it's almost done too, Reckham.
It's not almost done.
Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Oh, Goniac.
Guniac got beef with somebody.
Uh-oh.
We're not going to get into all that.
You got beef? Hey, you remember what Joker did?
Joe got beef with me?
When he said, you got beef? He shot a dude in the head. Like so.
That's true.
Remember? Suicide Squad? I know my movies. So just doing a quick Google search, the Creality Ender Pro 3 comes in best overall on most rating sites and printers, $300 and under. I know, Goniac. You're good. I was just reading your comment. I was like thinking about a quote in a movie. I do that a lot.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back.
Capacitor.
I'm gonna go back to the full screenshot.
Yeah.
Of the printer.
Yeah, I'll try to get. I'll visit your show.
And unfortunately, you can't see where my mouse is.
And when I build a car from a washer and lots of welding rods. I don't know anything about building cars, but dude, if you do that, thumbs up. I have never watched Breaking Bad. Oh, what was that? They were asking me to say something from Breaking Bad. I am what? That guy?
Screen 2.
You're not listening.
I am listening.
I am sure. What was the guy? What was that name? It was somebody.
Bitch?
No! You're my bitch. No, they're.
That's what Jesse Pinkman?
He had a name that he was using. They were the drug task force people were calling the guy.
The DEA?
Yeah, they were calling him.
Heisenberg?
I am Heisenberg. Yes. Yes, beach.
That's funny.
Steak is strong with this one. Oh, wait. Oh, beef is strong. Okay.
Beef.
It's beef because the steak is beef. And it's
steak
a picture of a steak.
is beef.
A few of us know. Okay. Oh, damn. She called her. Nah. He takes care of me. Mr. Hand. What is that from?
That is from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. No, wait. Mr. Hand is from South Park.
Oh, yeah.
And Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
I've seen it, but it's been a long time.
Mr. Hand.
Oh, yeah. What was that guy's name?
Spicoli.
Spicoli. Yeah, you have a friend that reminds me of Spicoli. Like, talks like him, everything. It's cool.
Pilot Ryan. Private Ryan. Private Ryan.
Sean Penn. Yeah, it was Sean Penn. That was Spicoli.
Yes, Sean Penn was Spicoli in that movie. Now, yeah, I mean, we still got like 30 more minutes. So, I mean, I could talk about boats.
What do you want to talk about, Blue Eyes? Oh, I want that aircraft carrier and that submarine.
There was no submarine.
There was so. They dropped you a couple of pictures.
No. That's a different place that makes those submarines, but that would be Slick.
Yeah.
Those are expensive.
So who do we want? I bet they. I mean, one of them was like fictitious, and the other one
was the Nautilus from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen that in a long time either. So, yeah, we need to do a remake.
So,
that hurt. Okay.
So what's going on tonight, fellas?
What's happening in your life?
We've still got the print that's finishing up here.
And we're drinking.
And we got, we got like 30 more minutes that we're gonna.
His parents gave us
that
a
we're
big
just gonna
ass
roll
bottle
out.
of rum today. But liquor before beer or beer before liquor, is it?
Beer before liquor is the bad one.
Yeah, so we already messed up.
No way. That's the difference between an amateur alcohol consumer and a professional alcohol consumer.
I have to go to the store tomorrow, remember?
When?
You could go. What is Amy's first bird going to be? Something.
Jermaine Spencer, I do not.
Someone said that what a good one for me would be earlier in the show, and I forgot what they said. I think probably that one.
Apprentice.
Yes.
My apprentice will become Amy's plane that she will learn to fly on.
How are you liking that?
I love the IX-12. That is.
Oh, okay.
Right there. That is absolutely my favorite transmitter, and I love that thing. It is awesome.
I have some time left on the simulator, though. I've got to learn more. RC and
Keith Christie, I would be very hesitant to mount any gyro on Velcro, no matter how good I thought that Velcro was, because of the off chance that the Velcro might come loose, or if it has any kind of wobbly properties at all. I mean, you are just asking for bad things to happen.
No gyro on Velcro. Use the snap in Velcro as the other stuff moves. No Velcro on gyros. You have bullet paper DT? There. How do you have? Yeah, we have toilet paper.
We do.
I buy like one of those 18 packs like once a month, and I already had some. I didn't hoard it.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
So I already had some.
We've been hoarding toilet paper way before hoarding toilet paper was cool.
I buy one pack of the 18 double rows every month.
18 rolls of toilet paper a month, and we use like 6.
Well, we used to use more when the kids were here, so it's just like...
Yeah, because the kids, I don't know. I swear to God, if you're less than 18, it takes a roll of toilet paper to wipe your butt once.
They're kids, they just let the whole roll go out and then tear it.
Yeah, and they crumple, not fold.
Yeah, so, I did find some paper towels the other day, and I was so excited. I've never been that excited to see paper towels in my entire life. I'm old.
Mike SSI has lost his dang mind talking about an IX-12 giveaway. A
Maybe
little
in
over
a little
100. We're
while.
not giving away an IX12. But
Maybe
depending on what's in stock, right? So let's talk about that.
Later.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna wait
later.
because right now I'm still not working, and that's a little bit of a financial burden for us.
We'll be okay.
I mean, we're okay.
Luckily, we had a pretty good savings account. So.
Yeah, and we're doing all right.
Yeah.
Um,
God's got our back. So.
But the so whatever we're doing at 1,000 subs for now, everybody gets more free subscriptions to the channel to give to their friends. Yes. Yes.
Okay, we'll figure something out. Like, we'll figure something out, seriously. Whether it's a $25 gift card to whatever Horizon or something.
Yeah.
We'll figure something out. Like, we're not going to screw you completely.
Well, I mean, no one's getting screwed.
No.
But I think we're definitely going to do something.
We'll figure. We got to think about that.
And just based on our experience with the 500 subscriber giveaway, I think
that was great. That was really fun.
That was a lot of fun.
That was so much fun.
And I think that the community would get involved again and make it something that's really special. But the prize that what I want to do is, like a nice airplane.
We'll figure something out.
I don't know what. I mean, not like this, because I mean, the Commander's awesome, but it's not awesome. I mean, we could do an AR-637T, but then somebody's got to figure out how to program that thing. I was thinking between whatever's available, like a DX8.
Everyone's give away one orange wheel chalk. You could give away it, yeah.
I could give away one orange wheel chalk that is being made on my 3D printer right now. Biatches!
Yeah, we went through a roll a day.
Yeah, Jeff knows what I'm talking about. Something with the wow factor. So, like...
The half apply, Walt Weber, Josh Weaver.
So,
dollar store.
Like the 1400 millimeter pits from FMS. I think would be awesome.
Not everyone has Spectrum.
Exactly. So, I'm thinking...
Yeah, it's super fun. We had a lot of fun that night.
We could do like the 1400 millimeter pits.
AR-637.
Or...
Nobody likes sandpaper.
Yeah. I love that 1400 millimeter pits. In fact, if I were to do a giveaway for a 1400 millimeter pits, I would probably have to order 2 when I get the first one.
Right? Like, it's got to be Charmin or... No, nothing.
You're having a completely different conversation. That's funny.
Yeah, you're having one and I'm having another. Like, no, seriously, the stuff you get at the dollar store is not even a whole ply. Like, seriously.
It's like half a ply.
My mom called me the other day because that's all she could find. And she was like, this shit's like a half a ply. My mom does not cuss. And I was like... Oh, you want me to send you some? And she's like, could you please? Like, okay.
Oh, Wreck 'em Roy, I could give away that Spitfire that I'm printing, but it would break going wherever it's going.
It would probably get broken in transit. Unless in the flying cape. I wish they would open the airfield back up, or we're going to have to make a trip to Tennessee to see some family. And fly around just the farm a little bit.
Have a trip to the farm. Yeah.
I think he really
for real.
Hey, but the state parks are open still. We could fly the little water plane at... I'm sorry, did I poke you?
No.
We could do that at the Alatuna Lake. Like we did the last time, remember? The little water plane doohickey?
Is the lake open?
Well, I mean, the other state park was... Are you yawning?
No.
That's because you jumped in the pool at 9 o'clock this morning.
I did jump in the pool at 9 o'clock this morning.
It was freezing cold.
Jeff, to answer your question, we are printing a little wheel
it should be
chop.
called John Wayne. Yeah. Exactly. It doesn't take crap from no one. No, that's true.
Sorry. Jeff, I designed a little wheel chock in Fusion 360, sliced it up in my slicer software, and sent it over to the printer.
Do you want to
so
show
the
it to him?
printer is
Printing right now.
printing the wheel chock.
Show him.
Show him what?
Show him what it's doing.
It's
All right, I'm gonna step out for just a second. Let me respond to this text message. Excuse me, guys.
yeah. So here's a blown up version where you can kind of see what's up there, Jeff. Sorry, it's not like in the best of focus because it's like doing weird crap, but the wheel chock, which probably isn't even going to work that well, but you know, I just threw it together pretty quick, and that's what it is. You can kind of see the top of it there as the printer is laying down the filaments. All right. GB. Okay. So, Marshall, sorry about that. Yes. So we're going to go back to looking at the printer real quick. And I know that you can't see where my mouse pointer is, but on this printer, you'll notice that the bed, I mean, you may not notice, but the print bed is made out of Pyrex glass. It's like a thick glass, because inherently most of the Cartesian style beds, like you see on this printer, have a little bit of a warp to them. The thick glass beds that you can get tend to not have warps in them. So the glass bed is one thing that I added to the printer that's not available, and it's actually not on the. And I believe the Sapphire comes with a glass bed as well. What is some other stuff I did to this printer? Up towards the top and just to the left, you'll see a little knob that's spinning around. It's actually spinning counterclockwise, and that is the extruder. I did change out the extruder, not the extruder stepper motor, but the extruder itself. The extruder is I think it's Easy 3D or something like that. But it's much better for like flexible filaments and things like that. So the extruder got changed out. A lot of the parts that you see on the printer are parts that I 3D printed myself. You know, so like the fan duct that you see going around, you know, the whole hot end, that is a custom printed fan duct. There's a little piece on the front, you know, just in front of the fan that I added to be able to attach a dial caliper to help me physically, you know, set the bed leveling up. To the right of the hot end, you know, that's going back and forth, you'll see what's called an auto bed leveling probe that I added. I also added the Raspberry Pi, which you can kind of see just off to the left, which allows me to communicate with the printer over Wi-Fi. What else did I do to this thing? Not much else. I mean, most of it is 3D printed stuff that I was able to add on my own. So All right. So, how do y'all like having Amy on the show? I think we can get a lot more people watching if Amy is here every week. So, Raymond Molina, to answer your question, the IX12, the IX12 battery, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Right now, the IX12 is in what's called a standby state, right? The radio is not turned off, but it's not using any battery either, right? So when I hit the power button, it energizes, it takes the radio out of standby mode. So just like any other Android device where I would put it to sleep or whatever. So right now my battery's at 100%. I can go out, I can fly my airplane 5, 10, 20 minutes. I can go out there, I can do all my things. I can, do what I gotta do. And when I'm done, I take it and I press the button and I put it back into sleep mode. Right? As long as I leave the radio or leave the transmitter in sleep mode when I'm not using it, the IX12 battery will last. I mean, I've been at the field from 9 a.m. to 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night, flying all day long, 20, 30 flights, and come home with more than 50% of the battery remaining. So, I mean, the battery will last if you manage, if you do your power management right. You don't have to leave it on the whole time, and you don't have to turn it all the way off. The thing takes a couple of minutes to power on. But if all you do is you leave it in that standby mode, then I just press my button and it fires back up in a couple of seconds. So as long as you're managing the power right and you're not, killing it, you don't leave the Wi-Fi turned on where it's looking for a Wi-Fi signal when you don't have any Wi-Fi at the field anyway. There are ways to get some really good battery life out of it. And there's also aftermarket batteries available. So you can get I think there's some folks out there making what is it? 18. I think it's almost a 12 or 13,000 milliamp hour battery for the IX12. So there's definitely some stuff out there that make it where you can get more battery life than I think it's a 6,000 that it ships with. It's a 6,000 milliamp hour battery that it ships with. There are definitely folks out there that are making 10K, 10,000 milliamp hour plus batteries for the IX12. If you get one of those, obviously you're going to have better life out of that battery. But if you manage the battery life properly, I mean, you can stretch that 6,000 milliamp hour for an entire flight day and then plug it in at night. And by the time you wake up in the morning, it's going to be fully charged. So hopefully that answers your question. Sorry, I know I can go way too technical. Yeah, Tia and Scoot, I have heard of people having that issue where they, accidentally left a, insert DX series or IX series radio here. You leave the radio on until the batteries die, and it ends up causing damage to the boards, which is insane. That's crazy to me. Call your doctor? What are we calling the doctor about? And GB, what?
Hey, GB, what's up? Dr. Expo?
Dr. Expo? God, the dogs are so dumb.
Yeah, it's just me. Like, you think they would know. It's their mom.
No, they're too dumb.
I've had this dog for 14 years. What? Really? Has it been 14 years? No.
13.
13 years?
13. Ding, 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 ding.
He's probably 12, maybe? 12 and a half?
If we've had him for 13
well,
years.
no, we got him when he was like 6 months old. So.
Then he's older than 13 years old.
It's the beer, man. Like, seriously.
He's 13 years plus 6 more months.
Hi, baby. Hi. Him's a good boy, but him just can't see or hear nothing.
So everybody is happy for you to be back.
Hi.
Ray, yes.
I had to just comfort. I don't know why.
The answer to your question, Ray, is yes. My iX12 still has the original battery in it.
He has a love-hate relationship with it. Thanks for the info, New York, Long Island. New York.
But Bobby K,
hi.
Welcome to the show, Bobby, number 1.
Hi.
It is great to see you.
Good to see you.
And I hope that you guys had an awesome time flying yesterday.
Hi. Hi, Deuces. Wild.
And that the that T-33 made it back home in one piece.
Oh, they really do need to open this airfield. Like, we should tell them. We'll be safe. You're always 6 feet away from the next. Even the bays are.
Oh, I'm not worried about all that. They'll open back up. Conundrum. Bobby K, tell us what it is about your iX12 that you don't like. Whoop.
Oh, wow. That measured 8.2 on the Richter scale.
Sorry.
At least it didn't come out.
Sorry.
At least it didn't come out the other end.
That's true. That's
true.
Much
worse. He's run me out of rooms before.
Oh damn!
And the battery won't hold a charge.
Oh, my iX12 holds an awesome charge.
I saw you charging your phone with a battery the other day, and I'm like really dying.
Are you running dry?
I don't know why. I haven't really played.
You got 12%.
How is that possible? I haven't been on here a lot.
I don't have a charged battery to charge your phone with right now. We'd have to charge a battery.
So I gotta run upstairs. Get a charger. Yep. Okay. Bought a new battery and still hasn't fixed my issue. I would send it back. That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, something's not going right with that thing. Something's not right.
Mode? Maybe there's a problem with it. I'm sure they would replace it, right?
Well, Horizon's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, they've been pretty good to us.
And, everybody loves Bobby K. If they don't help out Bobby K,
then they're a douche.
We're all going up to frickin' Champaign, Illinois, and blowing up their frickin' houses.
I'm sure they would. Oh, man. I have threatened someone that was an ass to my husband for. I told him I was going to set his house on fire. And I was kidding, but I don't think he thought I was. I could have gotten into a lot of trouble over that. Okay, so our cat and our dog are facing off right now.
I'm sure
Yeah,
Horizon
I'm
will
sure
take
they would
care
take
of
care
you.
of you. Definitely sure.
Especially if they know.
If they know.
If they know that you're the Holy Smokes
If you're
guy.
yeah. Like.
I mean, they're going to give you what you want.
Because you be the shit.
Right? What time is it? 9:53.
Okay, so we got
So
like
let's see
we're
going to see what's going on with the print.
Ooh, look at that.
So, I mean, yeah, we're almost done with the print here, guys. And I know that Ray is not starting up until
we don't want to run into anyone else's time because that's
no, we're not going to.
Okay.
So Ray is going to fire his stream up at 10:15 Eastern time. So we still got.
We're on Eastern time.
I know that, and it's 9:54.
Ray is Uniac?
Yes.
Sorry.
Ray is Guniac, and Guniac is firing up his stream at 10:50.
All right.
So we still got like another 20 minutes, and you know, I mean, this thing has to be getting close, because I think it's 20. No, it's 30 wide and 50 tall. It's got to be getting close to the end, guys.
And if it's not, you know, we'll like do a video showing.
Yeah. I mean, we'll show you guys the end result next week. If it doesn't, well, Ray, I mean, for real, all we're doing is just waiting for the print to end, so we can come back in here and like,
we are not coming into your time. That's rude and not cool, and I won't.
That's
allow
right.
It.
It's rude and it's not cool.
Rude and it's not
and
cool.
I won't stand for it.
Stand for it.
I won't stand for it.
I won't stand for it.
Ding,
Nope.
ding, 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 ding.
He makes fun of me because I'm from Tennessee.
But I'm from Georgia, so.
Well, technically, you're from Florida.
Bang, 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 ding, ding. I mean, either way, I'm from Tampa,
you're from
Florida.
Tampa, Alaska.
I'm from Tampaska.
Connecticut, Hawaii, San Francisco.
San Diego.
San Diego, sorry.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I've been to all them there places.
When people ask me where I'm from, I'm like, do you mean where I'm from or where I've lived the longest? Because I don't really know what to say. It's rude and socially unacceptable.
Somebody wants to know.
Good morning, sinners.
Somebody wants to know what part of Tennessee you're from.
I am from Northwest Tennessee, about 80 miles north of Memphis. That's where I was born.
And the name of the county is
Dyer County.
Dyer County. Bing, ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. So, like, I moved to Texas when I was, like, 18. Yeah. I lived there for a long time, then I came back, and then I moved. I'm from, like, pretty much all over. I've been around the military basically my whole life, so it just took me different places. How did the
What's probably the coolest thing that I have made with the 3D printer?
My reindeer cookie cutter.
I made Amy a unicorn cookie cutter.
And then he made me this little cat with a witch hat on for Halloween. It was so cute.
I did make you a witch.
Yeah. With a cat with a little witch's hat on for Halloween to set on my desk. And I think I packed those in a box somewhere. I don't know where they are.
Deuces.
Lucky to have a Southern lady.
I'm lucky to have any lady.
We are pretty good.
But the fact that I got this one is just even better.
Aww.
Oh.
I'm lucky to have him because...
That's such garbage.
Whatever.
Where did you two meet?
I fought for him. We
usually meet in the bedroom.
Okay. So we met through a friend of mine that was in the Navy, and they knew each other, and we got introduced, and then we physically met in, was it? No, it was Hartford, Connecticut. Yeah, Hartford.
Rhode Island.
No, you didn't pick me up in Rhode Island the first time.
I don't fucking know.
Anyways, so yeah, we were introduced by a longtime friend of mine, and
so a friend of hers.
I don't think we were supposed to like each other, but we really did. So
yeah, a friend of hers that she went to high school with was in the Navy with me,
and I was talking to him or something, and he told me to contact you if I couldn't find him or
Yeah,
something.
and he ended up getting himself
No.
into,
Shh, shh.
you know,
He was inaccessible. We'll
he
say
found
that.
himself
In a precarious situation.
having a bad day one day, and told Amy that if she, if for whatever reason he had a bad day, that she should call me to find out what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And what's funny is I didn't even know what the fuck was going on myself, but I knew that if she was calling me, that something crazy had to be happening, and I figured it out pretty quick. But yeah.
So we talked for like a few months.
For months.
And then it just was just kind of like,
and then it just started.
The first time I saw him, I was just like, ugh.
Oh my god.
Hey.
Hey.
I was just like really hoping that he liked me because I was worried. I've always been really self-conscious.
You're so stupid.
And it turned out that I guess he did like me because I'm still here. So.
What's that been, like 14 years ago?
No, because we were together 3 years before we got married.
And we've had Rusty for shit.
Yeah. What was that, like 2006? 2007?
It had to have been 2006.
Yeah.
That's 14 years.
Wow. Dude.
Yeah.
Ride or die.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Right.
Word.
Too many beers? No. Like, he doesn't say this stuff when he's... I just know. Like...
What do you know?
I just know.
You don't know nothing.
That's also true.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
I know a little bit about some things.
Dude, Bobby K, we've been married 14 years.
No, we were together 3 years.
Oh, that's true. We've been married 11.
So we got married in 2009. So this year, it'll be 12?
11.
11? Holy shit. I don't feel like it's been that long. I don't feel like it's been that
11.
long. Yeah. Wow.
We're all right.
Youngins. Yeah.
Thanks, George Watts.
Thanks. Yeah, you should kind of...
I feel like I should have sunglasses on when you say that. So I'd be like, we are cool. We're not that young, but we're not that old either.
I don't feel 40. I still feel like I'm 21. Like I'm still that dumb sometimes too. Like really. I don't feel... I guess I am in a lot of ways different. I get excited about household appliances and paint.
Yeah, thanks, Jermaine. George Watts, I promise you, I do have shirts that I've had longer than Amy and I have been together.
Yeah, you do. What's that one that said AA is for quitters? There was another one I found in his drawer one day because I was looking for a t-shirt. I don't know. It was from a strip club in Rhode Island, and I was like, you better tell me that this is pre-me. No, I don't care, really. But I don't even remember what it said. But it was funny, so I put it on. I was like, hey, I brought on a t-shirt. It was some, like, strip club. I don't even know.
Oh, was it from the Foxy Lady?
Yes, it was. So, yeah, I don't even know what that is because I've never been there, but.
It was a strip club in Rhode Island that I used to get drug up to by Ed and Tim. Ed and Tim.
Those two.
Them two there. Them two there.
Yeah, I don't care about stuff like that. Like I've been to a couple and I sit there and I literally laugh my ass off because I don't know why it's so fucking hilarious. So effing hilarious to me.
Did you just drop F-bombs?
I accidentally did.
Don't be dropping F-bombs.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
We're on camera.
I know. It's y'all.
The peeps.
Like I've been around.
There's some people that don't like F-bombs in their ears, dog.
I didn't mean to. It's your fault. You and all your friends. Submariners are the worst.
We really are.
And then my uncle was a Navy SEAL, so man, it was like all the time F-bombs.
Yep. So look,
as long as I can see the plane that I'm flying, sometimes I can't see it when I'm filming. I'm like, oh my god, where did it go? My eyesight's not that great.
right?
It's not.
So
I
it's
can't see the drive at
10.
night. I have to have glasses. Yeah, we don't have that much time, but it looks like it's about done. I want to say. Yeah, it's getting. It's really close. And what
So
is
we're
this
gonna.
gonna be?
Okay, we're definitely on the final layers,
Yeah, I see
guys.
what the way it's moving. We're definitely. I'm gonna go look. I'm gonna go see what's happening. Don't tell my butt.
So we are on the final layers of the print. I know. So so the print is almost finished. Dave Kowinski, we are printing a little wheel chock. Yep, we're printing a little wheel chock. Now, because this thing is going to be done here. Because we're going to be done here in just a few minutes, I want to remind everybody that after the show, we're going to be joining Ray, our buddy Gooniac, who is going to be starting up his stream at around 10:45-ish. So everybody, I'll drop a link to Ray's show before we get done. Make sure that we all jump over into Ray's show, because I know that that he enjoys the support, and I enjoy supporting what he's doing. And his shows are always super informative. So let's all, hurry up over to Ray's when the print is done. And be sure, if you guys have any monetization denied F-bomb. I don't think so, Kenny. I'm pretty sure that I can drop F-bombs, because even in like a PG-13 movie, and YouTube is for people that are above 14, right? For monetization purposes, jerks. So a PG-13 movie can have one F-bomb get dropped and not go to rated R. Oh, look, the print is finished. All right, guys, I'm going to go and pry this thing off. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get the thing off the printer. So if you hit the little red button on the microphone, it'll unmute it.
You want me to push it?
What?
You want me to push it?
If you want people to hear you.
You guys hear me? I don't know. Check this out. This thing will stretch all the way over here.
All right, guys. What did you do?
I think this
Oh, I gotcha. So, check it out. We are done with the print, and I printed up a little wheel chock.
It's not working.
What's not working?
This outlet is not.
Turn on the light switch.
Which one?
The second light switch.
There we go.
All right. So we're done with the wheel chock. Here it is. So if you guys remember what we made in
That's cute.
what the heck was the name of that program? Fusion 360. This is our little house that we made in Fusion 360. Remember? You remember it?
What? Yeah.
So that's it. That's what we were making in the program when you were like, oh, it looks like a house.
It's a wheel chalk.
Yes. So
okay. Explain for people like me who don't know. That's like to put where? So that it doesn't roll?
Under the wheel.
That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure.
On this one, it's not going to work out that well, I don't think, because there's wheel pants. These here wheels are wearing pants. Bang, 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 bang.
Pants pie.
Watch out for them there bears.
Oh, please don't do that.
Please don't hurt the bears. All right, so a wheel chuck would go like right there.
Yeah, but those have. I get what you're saying.
To keep the plane from rolling.
That's cool.
And I have to make another one. But I need to modify the design a little bit. But the point is
make it purple.
that we just, here's the thing, right? And here's what's great about 3D printing and prototyping and all that stuff, right? When
the beer witch now, yeah.
When we have a thought in our head, we can draw out that part from whatever's in our mind. We can think up, like, here's what I think a wheel chuck kind of looks like, maybe. Only, in reality, this looks like more like a Monopoly hotel.
Somebody
only
said that.
Short.
They said it was like Boardwalk.
Yeah, only short. So I can take this part and now I can modify it, and instead of making it look like this, I can maybe
make it a little taller.
Take like a little circular radius or something like that, because I know that this thing has like 2.5-inch wheels, so I can take like a 2.5-inch circle and cut that out of this side, and make another one, that looks more like that 2.5-inch circle. So there are ways, now I have something that I can work with, and make it, and refine that design and print out another one. But that's the whole thing with 3D printers, and what makes them so great is I can make another one right now, today, instead of having to go back to the store. I mean, in the amount of time that it took for us to think of the design, export it, put it on the printer, and we were able to like sit here and BS and talk and whatever. I mean, it's not like you're building it, like chiseling it out of a piece of wood.
Block.
You just you just poop it out onto the computer and then send it to the printer.
However you want it
and then boom,
to be.
Part.
Yeah, part.
So.
And I think you can sand these things down if you wanted to.
You can sand them a little bit, but not too much. But I mean, this is a good, strong piece.
That is pretty cool. Like, I like how it does the middle part to make it stable when it's printing.
I mean, it's a good, strong piece that's gonna last forever.
And it matches your shirt.
It kind of matches my shirt. Yeah. I could make little Spectrum logos.
We could.
I could put some on my titties.
Hey, we can make those little things that when you go like this, like spin around.
I can make some booby tassels.
Yeah, you would know what the word for that is. Oh, but I couldn't make. These are easy, but that I couldn't make because.
So Gooniac, are you gonna go ahead and fire up your stream?
Gooniac, are you ready? Are you ready for Gooniac? Rave, baby. Rave, baby.
Brown chicken, brown cow. Brown chicken, brown cow.
Did someone say he said booby tassels, Rickham?
I did say booby tassels.
I didn't know what the word for it was, but my husband sure did.
She was talking about.
He knows.
She was talking about things spinning around on your boobies, and I was like, "We've got to talk about booby tassels." Booby tassels.
And he was like, I can make some. I don't know. Anyway, it went.
Man, I can make some booby tassels. Secondhand booby tassels, Victor? Is that what you're talking about?
Many are selling them secondhand, Raymond.
Man, nobody wants secondhand booby tassels. That's gross.
I sure don't.
That's gross.
That's like a secondhand dildo. That's like borrowing your best friend's dildo.
I need my booby tassels fresh out the pack.
Yeah, totally. Definitely.
You want fresh booby tassels. Yeah. You don't want like used secondhand booby tassels.
No.
Drop it like it's hot.
You can get the Rona like that, I'm sure. No.
You can definitely get the Rona.
You could probably get the clap and everything else like that, I'm sure. I don't know. I have no idea. Anyways.
Or
IX12.
Bobby K.
IX12, David.
Or Bobby K.
Drop it like it's hot.
You can go to my Horizon links, fellas, in my new videos. So I have a little bit of an announcement. There's still 42 people in here watching this.
Drop it like it's
I
hot.
have been.
When the pigs try to get at you.
I have been.
No, somebody said drop it like it's hot.
I have been invited to join the Horizon Hobby
bitch, get
affiliate
attitude.
program, which I am excited to announce to the world here tonight,
told me
to
not to
these
say
44
anything.
people.
You broke the rules of Fight Club.
I
You're out of Fight Club.
can say it now.
You're no longer in Fight Club.
So I wanted to tell you guys that I click on my links too.
Congratulations,
guys.
David.
Click my links too, fellas.
Yeah, and I should probably come over here more often and hang out with you guys because
Yeah, I mean, look,
you're my only friend.
we will all support Ryan for life.
Yes.
For life. But like,
He
if
is
you're
totally
watching one of my videos
awesome.
and you're maybe looking at
I
an
think he
AR
should be, like,
637,
a
like maybe click my link too, right?
Ryan, you should be
Maybe
one of those,
click
like,
my link.
if you came on, if you were like Ryan in the morning, I would listen to your show because you have a radio voice. Like, you should be on TV or radio or something. Like, really.
Thanks, Bobby K.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, man.
GB, y'all all have radio voices. Like,
We got
we had a radio.
we got radio faces too.
No, I think you're all very handsome dudes. Like, y'all are all handsome dudes.
Thanks, guys.
No, I think Ryan should have a morning show. Like, he would be so good at that, something like that. Gooniac, I have listened to your show. I think I had trouble distinguishing.
Gooniac sounds like he's about to, like, you know, if you close your eyes,
You would picture.
like he's undressing you.
Oh,
Like,
so you
let's
have
get
one
it
of those
together.
like phone lines, like 800 number.
Gooniac.
Yeah, but that totally. That's so funny. Barry White. He said Barry White.
I'm gonna take your clothes off with some smooth jazz.
Did you, Ryan? What did you let the smoke out of? We bald, yeah. You know, he made Snoke. Snoke? Did you make smoke or Snoke?
I made smoke.
No, Pilot Ryan says he made Snooky. Did you make Snooky?
Snooky? No. Dude,
Made
GB.
Snoke.
GB. Every day.
What?
Every
I
day,
didn't see what he
GB,
said.
making smoke out my bum.
That's true. I don't know. I have this little thing right here.
Whoa.
I don't care. It's CBD oil.
It's CBD.
And it's almost empty, y'all. This is all I freaking have. So if you're feeling generous, my address is... No, I'm kidding. Anyways, it'll be all right. I don't need to anyways.
All right.
Okay, back to what
So,
we're doing.
Gooniac.
All right, Gooniac's
Is
coming
your
on. Are you ready to go?
is your link up yet, Gooniac?
Because we're going to log off if it is.
It's 10:15, man.
Come on.
It's time for you to go live, my man. Gooniac.
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 Dear Lord. Maybe we should have like...
All right, guys.
All right, good night, you guys.
Good night,
Fly on
my
over to Gooniac, and we will be in the chat. Thank you.
All right, guys. If y'all didn't see it, here is the link to Gooniac's stream. Everybody make sure to go and join our good friend Ray.
Yes.
We all love Ray. We all love Gooniac. We're going to go over there and listen to what he has to say about battery charging and discharging. And maybe he'll show you an FD200 battery discharger like you saw in one of my videos. Excuse me.
Obama. Good night, you guys.
All
Thanks
right.
for joining us.
Everybody have a great night.
Be
Subscribe
safe.
to the channel if you haven't.
Like, ding.
If you're
subscribe,
here and you're not a
whatever.
subscriber, you're just a masochist. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. And we'll see you over on Ray's show. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great night.